You're about to take a deep dive into one of the biggest true crime cases in the universe, or at least on our part of the planet. From the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.
It was a warm morning in Tallahassee on July 18th, 2014, when a horrific crime would forever alter the lives of two families. Dan Markel, a prominent law professor at Florida State University, was returning home after dropping his children off at daycare. By all accounts, it was just another normal day, but as Markel pulled into his driveway, he would never make it inside his home. Moments later, a neighbor would hear a loud bang, a gunshot, and in an instant, a man's life was cut short in what appeared to be a calculated, cold-blooded murder. The question that would loom over investigators and the public for years was, who wanted Dan Markel dead, and why? Authorities worked quickly, but the initial investigation offered little. Markel was gunned down in broad daylight, and though the scene itself was quiet, it would take years before the puzzle pieces of this murder would come together. What began as a mystery of why someone would kill a respected legal scholar would soon unravel into a web of betrayal, manipulation, and a family's desperate desire to protect their own. At the heart of this story is Donna Adelson, a 73-year-old mother, grandmother, and now an accused orchestrator of a murder-for-hire plot. Donna's son, Charlie Adelson, had already been convicted of his role in the killing, and Donna was now facing charges herself, accused of being the mastermind behind her former son-in-law's death. But to understand why Donna Adelson, of all people, might have wanted Dan Markel dead, you have to go back to the bitter divorce and custody battle that led to this fatal day. Dan Markel had been married to Wendy Adelson, Donna's daughter. Their marriage had crumbled, ending in a messy divorce that became even more contentious as they battled over custody of their two young sons. Wendy had wanted to move back to South Florida with the boys to be closer to her family, but Dan fought to keep them in Tallahassee, where he worked and lived. For Wendy and her family, particularly her mother, Donna, this battle was not just a legal fight, it was personal. Allegedly, Donna had become increasingly involved in the situation, to the point where many believe she harbored a deep resentment toward Dan Markel. It's been said that Donna was outspoken in her distaste for Dan, reportedly referring to him as the idiot in private conversations. In emails and text messages, she allegedly expressed frustration over the restrictions Dan had placed on Wendy and the children. Donna was known to be a fiercely protective mother, someone who would go to great lengths to shield her daughter from harm. But no one could have anticipated the extent of her involvement, if, indeed, the allegations are true, in the plot that would take Dan Markel's life. The case took an unexpected turn when investigators uncovered a critical piece of evidence, a connection between the Adelson family and two men from Miami, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. These two men, both with criminal pasts, were charged with carrying out the hit on Dan Markel. They had driven to Tallahassee, tracked Markel's movements, and waited for the perfect moment to strike. The discovery of their involvement raised more questions than it answered. Why would two men from Miami have any reason to kill a professor in Tallahassee? And why would they take such an extraordinary risk? That's when investigators began to look deeper into the relationships surrounding the murder. The trail led them straight to Charlie Adelson, Wendy's brother and Donna's son. Charlie was known for his wealth and lavish lifestyle. A successful periodontist, he had the means and, as the prosecution would later argue, the motive to orchestrate such a crime. It was revealed that Charlie had allegedly paid Garcia and Rivera to carry out the hit on Markel, with Donna's full knowledge and support. The motive, as prosecutors outlined it, was simple. The Adelsons wanted Dan out of the picture so that Wendy could gain full custody of the children and move to South Florida. According to the prosecution, Donna and Charlie felt that eliminating Dan was the only way to accomplish that goal. But these were just allegations. Could a mother really go to such lengths to protect her daughter and grandchildren? The trial that would follow would attempt to answer that question. In October 2022, Charlie Adelson was convicted of his role in the murder-for-hire plot, sentenced to life in prison. But even as the public watched Charlie's trial unfold, the attention quickly shifted to Donna. With her son now behind bars, would Donna also face justice? And more importantly, how much had she been involved from the beginning? In the months leading up to her trial, Donna's defense team, led by attorney Dan Rashbaum, sought to fight the allegations, maintaining her innocence. But just weeks before the trial was set to begin, a major setback occurred. Donna's trial was delayed after a significant conflict of interest was brought to light. Rashbaum, who had been Donna's attorney, had also previously represented Charlie Adelson. While such a conflict could, in some cases, be waived, the court found that the situation presented too many potential complications. As a result, Rashbaum withdrew from the case, leaving Donna without a defense team just as the trial was about to begin. The conflict stemmed from the fact that Charlie had the right to appeal his conviction, and any defense strategy for Donna could potentially impact that appeal. If Donna were to testify or take any legal action that could contradict her son's case, it would raise ethical concerns for Rashbaum, who had represented both parties. The delay in the trial meant that Donna would need to find new representation, and fast. But what now? With her son in prison and facing the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars, many speculated that Donna might seek a plea deal. The prosecution had built a strong case against her, and while the exact details of the evidence remained sealed, it was clear that they believed Donna had played a central role in orchestrating the murder. A plea deal would mean Donna would avoid the uncertainty of a trial, but it could also mean turning against her own family, potentially providing information that could further implicate Wendy, her daughter, in the plot. And what about Wendy? Throughout the investigation, Wendy Adelson had been questioned, though she was never formally charged. Many believe that Wendy's involvement was greater than what has been revealed so far, though the state has yet to present any charges against her. Could it be that Donna, facing the reality of a long prison sentence, might finally reveal what she knows about Wendy's role? For Ruth and Phil Markel, Dan's parents, the trial delays and the drawn-out legal process have been agonizing. They've spent years fighting for justice, determined to see everyone responsible for their son's death held accountable. Each delay is another blow, another reminder of the immense loss they've suffered. But they remain steadfast in their pursuit of the truth. The trial's delay has also come at a significant financial cost. The state had already invested tens of thousands of dollars in preparations, from securing witnesses to setting up advanced audio and video systems for the courtroom. The delay has only added to those costs, and as Donna's new legal team prepares to take over, the financial toll will likely continue to grow. Despite the delay, the prosecution has made it clear they are ready to bring Donna Adelson to trial. Jack Campbell, the state attorney for Leon County, spoke about the case, expressing confidence in the team's ability to secure justice for Dan Markel. "This is not just about a single trial," Campbell stated. "This is about bringing closure to a family that has suffered for far too long." As Donna Adelson awaits her day in court, speculation continues to mount. Will she take the stand and fight the charges against her, or will she seek a deal in exchange for a lighter sentence? And if she does, what will she reveal about the rest of the Adelson family? With so much at stake, the next few months could be critical in determining the final chapter of this tragic story. What remains certain is that the case has captivated the nation, a tale of betrayal, murder, and the lengths to which a family might go to protect their own. The truth, however, remains elusive, at least for now. For Ruth and Phil Markel, the search for answers continues, and the hope for justice remains just out of reach. But as the trial moves forward, one thing is clear. Donna Adelson's fight for her freedom is far from over, and the legacy of Dan Markel's life and death will continue to haunt those who were involved.
In a world where the darkest secrets lie just beneath the surface,
They said it was an accident, but the evidence says otherwise.
where hidden killers roam unnoticed in the shadows,
I think you would definitely be looking at a blend of toxic, very bad narcissistic personality traits, and they will be vengeful and possibly resort to violence.
join Tony Bruschi as he uncovers the truth behind the most chilling cases.
They said it was an accident, but the evidence clearly says otherwise.
Each episode, we dig deep into the minds of those who commit the unthinkable.
To your point on narcissism, he thinks in his own mind how witty he is.
Yeah.
But he lost that jury. I was done with him in 2 minutes.
From unsolved mysteries to infamous crimes.
Geez, you've just talked about how you've taught yourself how to do everything under the sun. I bet you did a YouTube video, how to best kill somebody with a knife.
Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi takes you where few dare to go.
How does someone with such a dark secret go unnoticed for so long?
With multiple new episodes every single day.
We're not just telling stories, we're seeking justice.
Listen now on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi.